This patch, you may have already heard of it. A lot of people are talking about it, and even a lot of big creators are currently promoting it. And not even a day ago, it was trending on Twitter. I mean, X Elon on X, please don't take away my food stamps. But in any case, you have probably at least heard the name. And if you checked it out, you are probably confused. And when you saw it, you instantaneously said, Sweet Mary Mother of ESG scored Jesus, what the hell if I'm looking at? Very accurate, a very astute observation, by the way, because this patch is something that can be definitely summarized up very exactly there, with just the choice of what they chose themselves to represent the game with a toilet. There is so much I want to tell you about this, and I mean, there's going to be a lot to say, but I have also decided to do a too long didn't read section of the game that perfectly encapsulates what you should be expecting in this game right here. Okay, so to summarize up the story right now, what is this patch all about?
Doesn't matter where I'm from, Cardi C. What?
Is the game good?
Doesn't matter where I'm from, Cardi C.
Is the dialogue good?
Doesn't matter where I'm from, Cardi C.
Is anything about this game even remotely normal?
Doesn't matter where I'm from, Cardi C.
Should I stop doing this gag like 5 seconds ago?
Doesn't matter where I'm from, Cardi C.
Exactly. It's not good. Listen, there is an astonishing level of bad here, but there's also one thing that's so no, actually two things. Two things that are so absolutely based about this thing. I honestly want to tell. You know what? I'm gonna tell you one great thing about this. Okay. So first of all, let me loop you into what's happening here. You probably are looking at the SteamDB numbers and thinking, wait a minute, 66k players from the studio that has literally done nothing. Isn't this kind of a wild success? Technically, yes. I'm pretty sure they have already made a profit. I'm pretty sure they made a profit in like 10 days because they officially have sold 1 million copies. And this is sales, not players, not anything, sales. So technically, one more indie game that absolutely is completely making fun of the AAA industry. Funny. In any case, you're probably thinking, wow, these are really good sales. These are really good numbers for a game that came out of nowhere. Technically true, but at the same time, I kind of want to say technically not true, because you need to understand, and we're going into the first absolutely amazing point about this game. This game, one of the ways that it decided to make itself successful, which is, by the way, pretty smart, was to use everyone else's audience, because it was using Critical Role, for example. There's a bunch of extremely large creators and groups attached to this project that did voice casting for this thing, and one of them is Critical Role, if I'm not mistaken. In any case, they are there, and Critical Role goes really hard if you're mentally deficient or brain damaged, or mentally deficient and brain damaged. And that's literally half the. If you find that joke funny, well, congratulations. That's like half of this batch's humor, but worse. Okay, I did a better job than them. And yes, we have Critical Role. We have Moist Critical, who also did a voiceover. And funny enough, Charlie, the guy who is literally known to have only one type of voice, and literally known for saying, well, let me do an impression of Charlie. God gee Williker Whiskers, I have never seen anything like this. This was like a Sunday float on a Tuesday while it was raining outside and a thunder meteor came crashing down. Tell me that's literally not Moist Critical. Dare tell me that that's not exactly his personality, perfectly encapsulated in fucking 10 seconds. If you're gonna say no, I know you're lying. And then you got things like Jacksepticeye and many others. Like, this thing had literally an inbuilt audience of probably multiple tens of millions, which is mind-blowingly insane. And here's my favorite part, okay? This is one of the best things about this game. The game chose to use Alana. I was a writer on God of War Ragnarok. I didn't steal any art from anyone. Gooner Queen Pierce. That's right. The person that is actually trying to fight pirate software in most lies said. And she is one of the main characters. Oh, that's right. And if you think that sounded cringe and bad, she's this one. The hot demon chick. And the duality of man. Most critical, despite the fact that his character is literally a gooner, and we're gonna talk about that later, is probably like one of the top 3 better characters in the series. By the way, already throwing out a disclaimer, do not buy this! Just go watch a playthrough on YouTube. That's what I did. You're missing out on literally nothing because this is not a Telltale game, and we have much to discuss. Listen, this is so serious that I actually wrote down points that I want to talk about how bad this situation is and how funny and good it is in one point. But yes, Charlie's character is unironically like top 3 best, and Alana Pierce's character, this one, is easily by far the worst character. Like, the personality's just completely rotten. You could say maybe it was Alana's character all along, and her voice lines are terrible. Like, without a doubt, whenever you hear Alana say anything, it's bad. It is really, really bad. Again, my opinion is Alana gets job only in one way. Fill the blanks. That's a joke, YouTube, by the way. Jesus Christ, I didn't mean anything by it. She gets their roles by being embedded in the industry. Anyway, every time her character speaks, it is so bad. They also try to do some kind of... I'm pretty sure they try to also augment her voice in some ways, but it just sounds so incredibly dull and wrong. Like, at no point at any time she says anything, it sounds even remotely decent. Like, Alana Pierce is by far the worst voice actor I have ever seen in my life. That is insane. That is insane. Most critical Gooner Bat is like 100 trillion times better than Alana. It's not even close. It is not even close. Holy. But in any case, let's talk about what you're actually gonna see here. First of all, this game is... It doesn't actually hit you with the wokeness, but there's a lot of woke adjacent things there. First of all, there's a lie that this is not a Telltale game. This is not even close. None of your decisions matter. None of your anything matters. The game in general has one of the worst starts ever. You know, when you get your backstory, and it's like, the game literally starts with, do you love your dad? And it's like, wait, am I supposed to play myself an answer? Am I supposed to play the cat? I thought I'm supposed to play this character, and, you know... Well, what the hell? If, like, in the first seconds you get asked, do you love your dad? Oh, do you like your dad? Or something like that. It's confusing and stupid, and your answers, by the way, for everything is that there's no decision making in this game, okay? There is literally no decision making. The answers are typically yes, no, doesn't matter. It is insane. None of the decisions have any... Well, there's probably gonna be decisions that have real impact, but currently I just don't see any of it. The start of this game, let's call it, is extremely dull and bad. It's like the complete opposite. Like, things that English hard. Things that are supposed to have emotional strength and empathy attached to them, and they're supposed to hit hard because we like the character, at the start, are literally crammed in the first 12 minutes, and you cannot relate to any of the decisions because you just don't fucking know the character. And the character does stupid shit. Like, a lot of things just don't make sense. But the real thing is the dialogue that's being said. The whole of this game's dialogue is just zoomer nonsense. It is extremely ludicrously over-sexualized. That's also probably the stuff that you have seen on Twitter. I don't want to scroll down here too much because maybe they don't censor something. If you look at this patch on Twitter, half of this stuff is corn. Literally. Because this is what it is. This is zoomer humor, lefty gooner bait. At least it found its audience, but unless you fit that description, you're probably not going to enjoy this patch. Now, granted, as something that can just sit on your other monitor where you're playing a tower defense game, which was I did, it's actually pretty good because you kind of get into the train wreck. At least I got into the train wreck. I wanted to see, like, in what other way are they gonna make these characters dysfunctional retard that did not make sense? Like, what's gonna be the next stupid thing that happens here that completely makes absolutely no sense? The plot of this game is you're managing a team of ex-supervillains and they do evil things and you're supposed to be a super good guy who does always the right thing, and you kind of just let them burn down buildings and shit like that. That's a pretty accurate way of summarizing the story as far as I know so far. It doesn't make sense. You don't care about these people. You don't really care about anything. The situations that happen are just completely BS. But since this is a very Vogue game, by the way, you have situations where a girl just baits you into kissing her. You have situations where the literal only black characters in this game, YouTube, I'm describing what's happening, so don't be mad at me, okay? All the black DEI insert characters that you have in this game are literally gonna start physical aggression and be horrible people in just a snap of the fingers. It is the most ironically based thing ever. And this is what this game does. It literally just does that. It's like, it takes this little for those characters to just get super fucking mad at you. It is hilariously woke. It is absolutely hilariously woke. You have unbelievable buzzsaw. Wait, buzzsaw. There we go. You have unbelievable situations. Like, nothing here fits life. It honestly feels like this game was made by people out of, I wrote it down, grew up in California to rich parents, never knew real people. This is how it actually feels the game is in general. People who are so far out of touch, they're touching some kind of other side, and that's not meant for humans. That's how bad it honestly feels. And, well, that's honestly pretty much this patch. I'm gonna keep watching, but again, I don't think you should buy this. There's literally no game. At the end of every episode, like, look at these options. This is by the way, like the second episode or something like that, where this guy gets to talk with his team because they're idiots and they're bad. And oh, by the way, this is a soulless creature because soulless things obviously deserve human rights. I'm not even sure if this is a trans allegory or not. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, he's a midget. 10 out of 10. But yeah. And at the end of every episode, you get to compare your amazing decisions of autism with other amazing people who made decisions of autism. So he's supposed to talk to his team after they failed. And now he can say, "You are all phoenixes," which you have no idea what he's actually going to say. The funny part is you can pick any one of these and you're going to be like, I have no fucking clue what this actually leads to. There are so many situations where you have no idea what actually picking what option actually means, because you think that he's going to compare them to Phoenixes to Rise from Ashes, but he actually goes in a complete different direction with that. You set this program on fire. No idea what that is. You're all burnt shit. There's also the almost safe, well, it is a safe, edgy option, so that's kind of a thing. Yeah, it is insane. This whole thing is insane. I understand why people are choosing. You have, by the way, this game has a revolutionary Western ideas called love interests in a game, and I don't know. I'm not even sure if you can be gay in this game, and if you can't, buzzsaw. And if you can't be gay, I'm gonna honestly be very surprised because this seems the type of game where you can be mostly gay. But whatever. So you have two interests. A reasonable woman that's actually a part of society and does good, and then a complete dropout that actually almost cost people their lives and previously probably has killed people just for, I don't know, brevity's sake, let's put it like that. Blonde Blazer and Invisigirl or something like that, who was previously called Invisisloot when she was evil. Seal clap, anyone? I want a seal clap right there on that. That's a 10 out of 10 seal clap, by the way. And less than 30% or something chose the actually reasonable, not damaged part of society. Which is so fucking insane because the Invisigirl is rotten, she's mean, you don't want her. But since this game appeals to leftists, I guess she's prime real estate because she's damaged in all the ways that I don't know you are or something. In any case, this is a disaster. I mean, it doesn't matter if it sells good. I mean, this is a one in a billion miracle. Yeah, there you have Blonde Blazer, or what's her name. This guy's obviously super smart, and this is the other love interest in Invisigirl. I mean, she doesn't look bad, but the fact that, by the way, all of them are... You know what? I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop, okay? But we're stopping here. In any case, 1 in a billion miracles. Definitely woke, definitely garbage. Whoever write this probably should go check themselves because it's not looking good in the future. In any case, 10 out of 10. Bye.